Look, this investment Guru's tips will double your money. Just claim the offer.
Double your money from any random group. Pay attention. Promising double returns, they'll lure you in tight. Unverified groups will send fake tips overnight, emptying your pockets before you can fight.
Well said! Well said! Well said!
SEBI and NSE advise, consult only SEBI registered advisors and make payments only to verified accounts or UPI IDs. An investor awareness initiative by SEBI and NSE.
Presented by National Stock Exchange. Co-presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Good morning, you're with us here on the Business Today show. I'm Aabha Bakaya. We're counting down to market opening. Let's get you all the headlines at this hour. The Trump administration further softens its trade stance on India in a crucial move. The fact sheet released by the White House now says India intends to buy goods worth $500 billion instead of commits. Also removes pulses, a sensitive farmer produce, from the list of agri-goods that India will import from the US. Government cracks down on AI content on the internet, tightens rules to bring synthetically generated information and deepfake content under stricter compliance. Mandates clear labeling, permanent metadata, and faster takedown timelines for online platforms. Profit booking pauses the record run in US stocks. Dow climbs, but tech stocks are in the AI crosshairs once again. Investors dump shares of wealth management companies on fears that a new AI tax strategy tool may do a better job. Asian stocks are slightly up even as Japanese markets remain closed today. The government steps up its disinvestment plan. Offer for sale in BHEL opens today. More than 5% government stake likely to be divested for 4,650 crore rupees with a floor price of 254 rupees a share. Offer open for institutional investors. Retail investors can invest tomorrow. Union Home Minister Amit Shah pushes for nationwide adoption of Mule Account Hunter software to combat cyber frauds, inaugurates CBI Cybercrime branch and calls for strengthening the 1930 helpline for faster response to digital scam complaints. In a move being construed as further relaxation by the White House, the Trump administration has revised its fact sheet on the newly announced trade deal with India. An earlier reference to pulses as one of the products identified for imports into India, an important commodity in India's agricultural import basket, has been dropped. The modified fact sheet also downgrades language from committed to intends for the $500 billion of purchases by India. The changes come amid heightened scrutiny of the interim trade framework, which aims to deepen economic ties and reduce tariffs between the two nations. Karishma, clearly we're seeing a lot of progress on the trade deal and a clear commitment coming in from the US.
Well, Aabha, clearly, like you also mentioned, they've smoothened the language. The tone of the fact sheet now has been revised, and that's coming just, say, in about a period of 3 days. On Saturday, we were given the first fact sheet, midnight of Saturday around Sunday, and now this is the second fact sheet. Now let's look at the first element, which talks about certain pulses. To give some data and numbers, India actually imports the least from US in the top 3. It in fact imports more pulses from Canada and Australia at a value of about close to say $500 million. Totally we import about close to say $56 billion at an average. Now, second most important is this stance shifting from commitment to that of intent. Again, I think that it comes in the background scrutiny of how there was some criticism on the fact that the US has been stringent and tough with India on the whole Russian oil element, and I think that is why the terminology is now being smoothened to give it a more fair, balanced and a cooperative tone of mechanism.
All right, fantastic. Karishma, thanks for talking us through that. And of course, we'll keep on top of this story as it develops. Karishma tracking this in detail on ground. Let's take a look at precious metals. They continue to edge a little higher. Just want to touch upon that before opening because MCX silver has jumped 7,000 kilos and it's at 2.59 lakhs per kilo. And MCX gold is up 2,000 now at 1.58 lakhs per 10 grams. So MCX gold has actually been sneaking up. Silver has been volatile. It's now jumped 7,000 rupees per kilo and it's back at about 2.59 lakhs per kilo right now. So precious metals continuing to edge higher there this morning. Joining us on the show, we've got Shailendra Patnagar as always. Sharad Avasthi also joining us, Head of Research, PCG Smiths. Good morning, gentlemen. Sharad, let me come to you first. What's the setup looking like today? What are the factors that you're going to be tracking as we head into trade?
Yeah, I think the positive development coming out of the US is something that we are looking at. I think gradually more and more contours of the deal are coming out and they seem to suggest that it is probably a good deal for India. And then we are expecting this nervousness that has been lying around, with the deal. I think that should die down substantially. And quarterly numbers largely have been good. So I think the mid-cap, small-cap part of the basket has been doing very well, outperforming in terms of profit growth, etc. So we are expecting a strong move in mid-cap, small-caps over the next 6 to 7 months.
All right, so sounding positive there. Remember, earnings will continue to be in focus too. Britannia has seen a really good set of numbers, so keep an eye on that one. We're watching out for that. Nifty is looking positive in pre-open, so we've inched close to the 26,000 mark. BHEL will also be in focus on that rights issue, as we mentioned at the start of the show. Grasim, Titan, Aisha, some of the other names in focus on the back of earnings. That's BHEL for you, down about 5%. That's on the back of the OFS, pardon me, with the option to sell an additional 2% as well. Retail investors will be able to tap into that tomorrow. So that's BHEL for you. Let's take a look at the opening ticks on your screen right now. Marginal uptick on opening. We're seeing just about a 40 odd points there right on opening ticks. 25966. We're looking at 26,000 on the index this morning. Nifty Bank is flat to negative right now. Let's pull up some of those movers as well as the key stocks and news and take a look at where the action is this morning. Let's take a look at Britannia, for example. The auto index is up about 0.6%. I'm sure Aisha is looking good post earnings. There you have it, 4% on an Aisha. That's where the action is this morning. Remember, this is already a market favorite, 3.5% high. 7566 is where Aisha's trading right now. I'll come back and talk to Sharad in a moment, but just wondering how much further this stock has room on the upside given the phenomenal valuations it's looking at currently. Power Grid, Zomato, Grasim, some of the other gainers for you there. Let's pull up some of the other stocks in focus. Britannia, Grasim, see if they're reacting to earnings and news triggers as well. On the downside, Hero is taking a knock today, so complete contrast in the auto pack. That's probably keeping some pressure on the auto index as well. Britannia is up 4%, solid set of numbers, profit up 17%, margin improvement also coming in there for a Britannia, so it's looking incredibly strong today. And Titan is up a good steady 2% as well. Shell, what are you picking up on opening ticks?
Aabha, I'm looking at Apollo Hospitals, again earnings led. HEG Limited, this is the graphite electrode maker, in strength. In fact, if you look at the top traded counters by value, you have a lot of momentum coming into Aisha. 108 crores already traded, now 112. What's in strength is Britannia, which you've already marked. Motherson Sumi is doing very well from the auto ancillary space, 3.5% higher. And in terms of new highs, Titan is something that we've been following post the silver and gold rally. You have a strong move coming into Edelweiss, 1.3% higher. These are 52-week high, all-time highs. And I want you to keep an eye out on Bharat Forge. This is a defense play now, doing pretty well. You have a strength coming in at 16.17, a fresh high for Bharat Forge.
Great. We've got few other names as well. I think an HEG is moving. We've got Apollo Hospitals up about 4% as well. So keep an eye on that one. I think we were just showing it on your screens. And now we've got a Max Healthcare that's moving, Apollo Hospitals. So some of these stocks are looking good as well. HEG is up about 3% today. So a couple of these names that are on top of the charts. Advanced decline ratio is looking good as well right now and steady in opening trade. Just want to go across to Sharad on Aisha again. Let's pull up Aisha for you because a good strong move that's coming in on Aisha Motors. Sharad, given where the stock is already trading, remember it's a market favorite already. 5% now, 7,682 for an Aisha Motors. How would you advise investors to look at this stock? How much further do you see it going?
Yeah, I think continue holding, maybe not market outperformance, but even if you look at, forward numbers, I think next year, what are we expecting? 230 kind of earnings, 35, 36 kind of multiples should not be very difficult for the company. So I think we are looking at targets of around 8,000. Though it is a year down the line. But if the numbers keep improving the way we have seen in this quarter, then there is high probability that you would see that ramp up happen much faster. And since they are bullish in markets, I think one can continue to hold for targets of around 8,000, 8,100 over the next, 8 to 12 months.
Okay, great. Just want to recap what's happening on Aisha there. Net profit, revenue growth, everything. In fact, it's looking really good. 21% rise in consolidated net profit in December. Strong sales of the Royal Enfield. So net profit was at 1,421 crores versus 1,171. There was a one-time charge related to new labor codes that came into effect of November. That was about 55 crore. And overall sales were up 21%. Robust demand in the domestic market. Sales increased 24% year on year, led by models such as the Hunter and the Meteor. And revenue from ops was also up about 23% to 6,114 crore rupees. So that's Aisha Motors for you. Strong set of numbers coming in there and a 12% uptick in 3 months. All right. In a major push against cybercrime, Home Minister Amit Shah has called for nationwide adoption of the Mule Account Hunter software to crack down on digital fraud. He also inaugurated the CBI's new cybercrime branch and stressed faster response to the 1930 helpline. Listen in.
गृह विभाग और रिजर्व बैंक ने मिलकर म्यूल अकाउंट हंटर का जो सॉफ्टवेयर बनाया है वो सारे बैंक, प्राइवेट बैंक हो, अंडरटेकिंग्स हो या कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स हो, सबने एडॉप्ट कर अपने सारे बैंक अकाउंट को इससे क्लियर कर लेना चाहिए। हम जब तक ये नहीं करते हैं तब तक हम कस्टमर को बचाने का प्रयास, उपभोक्ताओं को बचाने का प्रयास पूर्णतया नहीं कर सकते।
All right. In a major tech policy shift, the government has tightened regulations for AI-generated and synthetic content, bringing it explicitly under the information technology rules. The new amendments, notified yesterday and effective from the 20th of February, mandate clear labels and permanent metadata on AI-created material to ensure transparency and accountability. Online platforms must now act faster on flagged unlawful content with takedown timelines cut to as short as 3 hours and deploy tools to verify user declarations of AI use. The move aims to curb deepfakes, misinformation and harmful synthetic media while holding social media intermediaries to stricter compliance standards. Let's go across to Aishwarya Patil on this. Aishwarya, what brought about this move by the government? Where are they looking to really maximize the kind of governance that they've talked about here?
Well, some of it you have already mentioned, but the Ministry of IT, MIT has said that there is a new AI governance framework that has been put in place. Now, of course, using AI does pose a lot of risk, and hence, to counter and mitigate deep fakes and some of these impersonations or, sexually explicit content that has been created by AI in the past, like Grok, for example, you would have seen. To counter all of these, platforms have been mandated to have a quick fix or a report button going forward so that these can be reported immediately. And like you rightly mentioned, in order to counter these risks, this should be fixed within just a couple of hours, 3 to 6 hours, even for social media platforms like WhatsApp, etc. This must be fixed within 6 hours, is what this particular mandate says. There should also be clear labels on any AI generated content, any images or videos as well, so that you can identify them. Because this of course can pose some sort of risk. Deep fakes in the past, as we've seen during very crises kind of kind of events, or that could pose a risk as far as this public
Sure.
dissemination is concerned. So these are some of the changes that have been made by this particular act that MITI has set up as far as AI governance guidelines
All
are
right,
concerned.
Aishwarya, thanks so much for joining us with that. Lots of earnings to track this morning. We've got Torrent Power also, PAT up 35%. The stock is actually not reacting so well to those numbers. Let me just bring that up for you. Torrent Power, bring that up for you on your screen in just a moment. Let's also talk about Britannia. Sharad, let's come to you on Britannia. Numbers looking good, 17% year on year on PAT. 680 crore is what the company's reported. How are you looking at a Britannia? It's up 4% today.
Yeah, I think it's a decent set of numbers, and the type of diversification they are doing, that should help them. And I think the raw material side pressure that has been plaguing them for some time, I think that's stabilized now. So there is high probability that this with GST cut and urban consumption coming back, most probably Britannia numbers could outperform on the upside. Obviously, a very strong brand. But I think you should have a staggered approach to buy it at these levels, because in terms of valuation, the whole FMCG pack, barring maybe a Jyoti Labs or an ITC, the rest of the pack seems a bit tad expensive in terms of valuation. So that's the only flip side. But obviously, a strong brand, we expect quarterly numbers to improve based on lower raw material prices, etc. So I think generally the numbers should be good. But I think the valuations are a bit high. So have a staggered approach, buy on dips. That should be the strategy for Britannia.
All right, that's on Britannia. Now, BHEL, remember, they've got a 2,800 crore rupee order. That's news for the counter, but the OFS is starting at 254 as a floor price today, and retail investors kick off their window tomorrow. The stock is down 5% though. That's the trigger on a BHEL. Share, let me come to you. We've got a BHEL that's down 5%. We've got a whole host of stocks in the broader markets that are seeing some amount of traction today. And Hero perhaps seeing some profit booking. So while Aisha is clearly the star, Hero is on a bit of a downtick today.
That's true, Aabha. It's just the circulation of money that's going in. I would rather focus on strong stocks which are showing signs of a bit of weakness, which is profit booking. It is the fresh start of a weekly settlement on the Nifty. Tomorrow we have the weekly settlement of the Sensex. So the market is in a bit of a cleft. We've had 4 days of strong growth on the Nifty, and this is a time for pause at around 26,000. So it's the options trade which is active, options sellers working around 26,000, whereas bulls trying to take a grip of it. Apollo Hospitals was beaten down very, very sharply. So that is something that you can look forward to. And of course, momentum strong on BSE, on Eicher Motors, and in particular, you have strength coming back into Naveen Fluorine. So either chase momentum on breakouts or buy the dip in strong stocks.
All right, we've got UB also reporting earnings. Let's just take a look at whether or not it's reacting. It's beaten estimates. So United Breweries, let's just take a look at where it's at. And Tata Motors CV, I think that's also just on order buzz. Indonesia order for 70,000 CVs, and that's why there's a slight uptick in that one. Not too much of a move on UB, and let's pull up Tata Motors CV for you as well. That's the other one that's in focus on the back of news today. Sharad, as we were discussing, perhaps a good time to get into either beaten down stocks on verge of a breakout or then strong counters. When we're talking about strong counters, for example, we've continuously seen some kind of an uptick on something like a Titan given the way precious metal prices have been moving. Where are you looking in the market?
I think one quarterly number that has come out that has finally worked in our favor is TVS Supply, small cap company, but it's obviously a strong group, world leader. So I think that is something that looks interesting to us. Even the quarterly numbers, the strategy, one plus, etc., whatever they were doing for cost reduction, I think that's finally playing out. So that is one story we are looking at. Titan, yeah, again, see, I'm not very bullish on gold from here on. So maybe not much would come into Titan with respect to valuation improvement. And most of the jewelry stocks, if you look at them, they are already trading at rich valuations. Maybe something like a PN Gadgil is not there, but rest of the pack, I think mostly stocks are trading at premium valuations, not leaving much on the table. So we are not looking too much into Titan right now. But I think, yeah, within the large cap stories, I think IT could be a good contra bet you could look at. That's one space that we are thinking that because of this uncertainty around AI, most IT stocks have become attractive. Ascent is something I've been advocating, but even the frontline TCS, Infosys at these valuations seem like very good contra bets at these valuations.
All right, great. Sharad, Shell, thanks so much for joining us. Keep an eye on IT if you're looking for a contra bet. That's the advice coming in from Sharad and a few other mid-cap or small-cap picks that he suggested. Grow is moving higher this morning. Keep an eye on that one. They've added a whole bunch of subscribers, 3.5 lakh stock market users in the month of January, so that one's up about 2% as well. We'll leave it there for now. We'll be back at 3 p.m. to talk you through market closing. Thanks for watching.
Presented by National Stock Exchange.
Look, this investment gurus tips will double your money. Just claim the offer.
Double your money from any random group. Pay attention. Promising double returns, they'll lure you in tight. Unverified groups will send fake tips overnight, emptying your pockets before you can fight.
Visit! Visit! Visit!
SEBI and NSE advise consult only SEBI registered advisors and make payments only to verified accounts or UPI IDs. An investor awareness initiative by SEBI and NSE.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome on this lovely Wednesday morning on Business Today television. We are, as far as markets are concerned, in the middle of the week. A fresh weekly settlement takes root on the Nifty, 46 points higher on the index. The breadth for the first 15 minutes of trade is favoring bulls, 1160 as far as the gainers are concerned, and 1200 as far as losers are concerned. A bit of an even Stevens. Earnings are getting rewarded very well in the markets. Look at how Aisha Motors is moving 6.5% higher. This is a fresh high. Already 450 crores worth of shares have been traded, 77.45 for you. The stellar run on Bombay Stock Exchange continues, 0.5% higher, fresh high at 3187. Strength on Apollo Hospitals, 5.5% higher, 76.21. And of course you have a move coming into Motherson Sumi, Eternal, a bit of profit booking, but Aurobindo Pharma, Britannia, Naveen Fluorine, all of these are stocks that are moving up on earnings as far as markets are concerned. What else is in strength? Well, amongst indices, Britannia is helping the Nifty FMCG index post 0.5% uptick. Rare for the FMCG index to figure in top gainers because valuations here are again on the higher side. The Nifty Auto Index led very ably by Aisha Motors, showing strength, and apart from Aisha Motors, you have auto ancillary giant Motherson Sumi, 4.5% higher at 134.8. So that's the state of play as far as markets are concerned. This is also the right time to show you new highs in the market. Titan should be discussed again, earnings led, 4322 for you. You have Ashok Leyland 211, Force Motors 23755. These are all auto stocks or auto ancillaries that I'm talking about. Fresh highs here. JK Tyre 591 for you, 3.5% higher. Lumax Technologies is also in this fresh list, and who can forget auto ancillary player FEM Industries, now at the moment at 2530. 1.2% higher. We are also waiting for our guest to join us, but for the moment HBL Engineering gets a letter of acceptance for Kavach order worth 800 crores from the railways. Gold financiers, Muthoot Finance in strength as far as prices are concerned, 3922 for you. It's a stunning 2-day rally that has taken the stock from 3760 to 3922, and on 6th of February you had seen 3500 on the stock. So that's quality, ladies and gentlemen, on how to buy and how to sell. But at this point of time the markets are in top shape as far as the broader sentiment is concerned. Any circuits that I'd like to mark? Well, nothing much, but shades of textile stocks doing well. Look at Lakshmi Cotton, 13% higher, 19.2 for you. We generally don't mark these stocks, but that's how it is at this point of time. Sugar stocks are doing pretty well, 4.5% higher on KM Sugar. That is something that you should be looking at on the charts. Let's look at the guest who's joining us, Gaurav Sharma, Associate VP and Head of Research at Global Capital. Good morning to you, Mr. Sharma, and a very warm welcome. Any stock that catches your fancy in the trade today?
Hi, good morning, Shailendra-ji. Thanks for having me on the show today. So yes, Fortis Fortis Healthcare is one stock that that catches my eyes, and it has witnessed good amount of sell-off in the recent past. Currently, it has managed to surpass the confluence zone of its important moving averages. Results are awaited 2 days to go. 13th will be declared. I am expecting good set of numbers for this particular company. Therefore, a rise towards 975 to 1000 levels in the immediate near term can be expected. And even from the longer to medium term perspective, the stock looks upbeat due to the beaten down and decent valuation which the stock is commanding. In the medium term, 1100 is what I'm expecting for the stock.
Okay, so that's a view that's coming in from Gaurav. Let's also look at a bit of profit booking that's happening on the PSU banking space. Indian Bank in particular slips almost dramatically in the first 15 minutes of trade. We've seen a high of 910, now down to 878. PNB started out at about 124.5, now at 121.5. State Bank of India is strong, 1148, but overall the Nifty PSU banking index has slipped about 1% to 9,073. Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda are the other losers on this one. What's helping the index on its way up is strength in metals. Steel Authority comfortably now above 162. Tata Steel comfortably about 209. The metals index flat but still in the green. A bit of profit booking in Hindalco. Vedanta doing pretty well, 697 for you. So that's a bit of even Stevens that's coming into the market. Gaurav, coming to you, a view on the metal space, anything that catches your fancy?
Shailendra-ji, metals are doing good, and for a medium to long term perspective, we uphold a bullish stance on the metal index on the whole. Vedanta is among the hot favorites. It has witnessed some reasonable sell off in the recent past. Currently quoting is slightly below 700 odd levels. Even from a short term trading perspective, this can be considered with a stop at 660 and 740, 760 are the immediate levels that we are eyeing at. Apart from this, some of the other stocks are Hindustan Zinc. Again, a good amount of sell-off was witnessed some time back, trading at 624. This is also a good bet. Stops are placed nearby. 580 and 700, 722 again is on the cards. So these are some stocks. Apart from that, JSW and Tata Steel are our long-term favorites.
Okay, this is as good a time as any to also look at volume buzzers in the market. You look at those from The FMCG space, Jubilant Foods, pizza maker, Domino's, 1.1% higher, 37 lakhs shares have already been traded. Bombay Baramba Trading Company, this is the holding company of Bombay Dyeing, 2.64% higher, 1854. Apollo Tyres is something that should be discussed with Gaurav. Very, very strong set of earnings. My apologies. I'm talking about Apollo Hospitals, 5% higher. And remember, this was a counter that was, in a bit of a profit booking mode. We had seen a high of 8100 and it had slumped to about 6700. But again, strength coming back in with a lot of momentum. 75.78 for you, 356 rupees higher. Gauravji, a view on Apollo Hospitals?
Challenji, we are bullish on the hospital segment as such, and Apollo Hospitals and Fortis are the two stocks that are on our radar. Fortis, I've already stated, we are bullish and one can consider buying it. Results are awaited, good set of numbers are expected. Apollo came up with good set of numbers and result, and the outcome is just before us. Stock trading 5% higher in trade today. Going ahead, 8,000 is pretty much on card, so the investor, the traders can hold on to their positions. Any decline in any eventuality should be utilized as a further adding opportunity.
Okay. Apollo Hospitals sales rose 17%. In the quarter gone by to 6,477 crores. It was both a sequential as well as year-on-year rise. Net profit was up 39% at 516 crores year-on-year versus 379 crores in the same quarter last year. And sequentially, it moved from 494 crores to 516. So that's a very, very strong win that we are seeing on the hospital stocks. Interesting to see profit booking on both bank and IT. So these are the two counters, these are the two sectors that prop up the Nifty. And that's the reason why you see the Nifty has now slipped from the day's high. What you see is 25,935 and what we have seen is almost 26,000. Let's look at the pullers and draggers. Bharti Airtel is pulling the Nifty down by 8 points. ICICI pulling it down by 6. L&T, ONGC, TCS and Hindalco pulling it down by 444 points respectively. What's pulling the index up? Eicher Motors and MM. So it's the auto space that is in top gear today. You have Apollo Hospitals, Maruti, Titan and HDFC Bank. So Apollo Hospitals, Eicher and Titan pulling up the index on their earnings and well, a bit of profit booking in the banking space. So that's how the structure is at this point of time. Gauravji, anything that catches your attention?
Yes, absolutely. Shailendra-ji, we have been talking about auto stocks all throughout 2025 and they have performed exceptionally well. We firmly believe that in 2026, auto ancillary will gain pace. When I'm saying ancillary, I'm talking about the auto tire stocks as well. So Motherson Sumi, Precol, JK Tires, Seat, Apollo Tires, all will remain in flare. The softening of the rubber prices will have a positive impact. Sales figures are pretty much upbeat as far as auto numbers are concerned. The replacement demand is also good. Therefore, we firmly believe that auto ancillary will be a shining spot for this year, and short-term traders, medium-term traders, and even investors can consider taking their position. Motherson Sumi, the largest company, has already started moving up. In a very short span of time, it has gained from 110 to 135 odd levels. More upside is still there. So I think this spot can be considered.
Yes, auto ancillaries have really shot up. You talk about Motherson Sumi. October 2024, ladies and gentlemen, this counter was at about 143. And then you saw successive selling pressure pushing it down to almost 81 rupees in February 2025, and from then on it's a one-way rally. But the maximum gain, as Gauravji has been very rightly pointing out, have come in from the last 15 odd trading sessions. Jan 21 the stock was at 101, and today we have it at 134. So that's an easy 33% uptake on a giant stock like Motherson Sumi. So if you are able to track momentum, then you would be in very good shape. Let's look at Motherson's earnings as well, which came yesterday. The stock at the moment has now near the all-time high, but net profit 20% higher for the quarter gone by, 1072 crores, both year on year and quarter on quarter. It's an uptick, and sales rose 14% to 31,400 crores versus 27,666 crores a year ago. So that's how the momentum is at this point of time. Let's look at the top traded counters so far. BSE flat, but about 668 crore shares, 668 crores worth of BSE traded. iShares in top form, HDFC Bank, and now Apollo Hospital. So earnings getting rewarded very well in the markets at this point of time. Gauravji, before we let you go, final word on the markets. 4 major events have lapsed. The budget, the Indo-US trade deal is out of the way. Now lots of inputs coming in which point to a better interaction with the world's largest economy. We have the RBI credit policy now out of the way. How do you see the index or the market for the next 2 odd months or so?
Shalenji, we are very much bullish on the markets. Whatever has events have gone by, they have been favorable outcomes for the Indian stock markets at large. We expect the Indian economy to continue on the growth path and maintain the steady pace. Earnings are pretty much decent. Going forward into the next financial year, we firmly believe that the upcoming financial year will be much better than what we have seen in the past 1 to 2 years. Therefore, remain invested in auto, metal, banking and finance space, and auto ancillary space. I think will benefit the viewers and investors at large.
Well, that's the state of play, ladies and gentlemen, for the markets. Gauravji, thank you very much for your very kind and very hopeful words. Here's wishing you all the best for the day ahead. So far, ladies and gentlemen,
thank you so much, Shalenji.
This is the state of play in the market. Wednesday, a fresh weekly expiry takes root in Dalal Street as far as the Nifty is concerned. Earnings are getting rewarded very well, in particular from heavyweight stocks that had corrected substantially. You can look at Apollo Hospitals, look at the breakout that's happened on iShares, post a stunning set of numbers. Look at how markets are propping up Motherson Sumi, and look at how the entire auto pack is there in full strength, helping the Nifty on a day when banking and IT are in a bit of profit booking. Thank you for watching. Please stay glued to Business Today Television.
Presented by National Stock Exchange.
Look, this investment Guru's tips will double your money. Just claim the offer.
Double your money from any random group. Pay attention. Promising double returns, they'll lure you in tight. Unverified groups will send fake tips overnight, emptying your pockets before you can fight.
Visit!
SEBI and NSE advise consult only SEBI registered advisors and make payments only to verified accounts or UPI IDs. An investor awareness initiative by SEBI and NSE.